Welcome to the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast, the show that gives you advice on everything from hair to fashion to skincare products. We'll talk about the latest trends in makeup, hairstyles, and anti-aging remedies. And we'll cover all of the newest fashion trends. If you have an interest in or questions about the beauty and fashion trends that might work best for you, the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast has got you covered.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the GSMC Beauty Tips Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Betsy, and today we're doing a little DIY part 2. I haven't been up to really anything this past week, just been working, bartending, serving. The weather in Charlotte has been very stormy, which I love. It's my favorite kind of weather. Well, I say favorite. One of my favorite times in Charlotte are the hurricane season thunderstorms that come through, because I think it's very relaxing. But anyway, like I said, nothing has really been going on with me and my world. So let's just get right into this next episode. So I'm super excited because last week I got a lot of positive feedback on my DIY. People thought it was fun, and I also thought it was fun. And so I thought it would be, you guessed it, fun if we did a second DIY episode. And so last time I did a hair scrub, I did a lip scrub, and I did 2 lip scrubs, and I did a little DIY patch sewing on my shorts, and I've gotten a couple compliments on those shorts. So I'm going to look for another pair of denim that I can do that on again. But this week, what I have for you is we're going to be trying a DIY natural deodorant, a DIY hand scrub, DIY dry shampoo. And then the final segment is going to be me talking about my experience using all of these and kind of just like a wrap up based on my opinion on how they worked, if they didn't work, things that you should try instead maybe. But I'm excited, so let's hop right into it. So the first thing we're going to be doing is a DIY natural deodorant. And there's something important we need to address before getting into actually making the product. So there's a difference in natural versus traditional antiperspirant. And specifically, there's a difference in antiperspirant and deodorant. And deodorant helps you block body odor, but it doesn't stop you from sweating. And antiperspirants typically contain aluminum, which blocks sweat glands, in turn reducing sweat excretion from your body. Now, the FDA classifies antiperspirants as a drug because they prevent sweat, which is a natural bodily function. And deodorant, on the other hand, it doesn't usually contain aluminum. Instead, it typically works by masking odor with fragrances or using properties to combat the bacteria that break down sweat, which is what causes BO in the first place. And the reason why people use aluminum-based deodorants and they smell less is because they're essentially blocking the sweat glands. So the bacteria on top of your skin never sees the sweat, therefore never creates that odor. The biggest concern with aluminum and antiperspirants is that some think it to be linked to breast cancer. And it was believed that aluminum penetrates into the bloodstream and just wreaks havoc on breast cells, which eventually mutates into cancer. Now, all of that being said, there's no conclusive evidence that links aluminum-based products to cancer. There's aluminum in water, food, pots and pans, cosmetics. So really, when talking about natural versus traditional antiperspirants, you should use what works best for you. As in all things, use what works best for you. And as we've learned, natural beauty does not necessarily mean the best that beauty has to offer. Naturally based products can have cons in the same way a chemically based product can. And all of this to say, we're gonna DIY some natural deodorant and see how it works out. I pulled this recipe from thehealthymaven.com, so go check out that blog. And it calls for 2.5 tablespoons of unrefined coconut oil. Also, this recipe says I'm supposed to be making this in a saucepan over, like putting in a glass in a saucepan with water because to help it melt, I guess, a little bit. But as you can probably guess, I don't have a stove in my studio. So we're just gonna make it sans heat and hope it works out. Okay, 2.5 tablespoons of unrefined coconut oil. Okay, well, the thing is about coconut oil is that as soon as it gets hot enough, it'll melt. So I'm hoping, which is why I'm assuming that they want us to use it in the saucepan, but I'm hoping that it's warm enough in this studio right now that, see, it's already getting melty. This is perfect. I don't need a saucepan. And 1/2. Ew. Okay. And 1/2. A lot of coconut oil. Also, just so you guys know, I went out and bought a bunch of stuff for the DIYs today because last time I did not follow the recipe, and I didn't follow the recipe for the hair scrub, and I think it hurt me a little bit in that. So I specifically went out and bought 100% extra virgin coconut oil, which really smells good. I don't think I've had coconut oil that smells very coconutty in a while. So extra virgin coconut oil really does it. All right. So 2.5 tablespoons of coconut oil, 2.5 tablespoons of shea butter. And shea butter, I did not find in any oil section or anything. I found it in the hair section because both of these are Shea Moisture brand, and I found them next to each other, so that's why I got Shea Moisture brand. I know I probably could have gotten just like a cooking coconut oil, and that would have been cheaper. But let's see, I've never seen shea butter just like shea butter. I've always seen shea butter infused things. It's very crumbly, which I wasn't expecting, and it doesn't smell good. It doesn't smell like coconut. Well, let's look at this coconut oil. Do they put coconut fragrance in it? Ingredients. Nope, just coconut oil. Well, nice. All right, so we have our coconut oil, we have our shea butter, we have a 1/4 cup of arrowroot starch or flour. Now, I will say for this, I just got cornstarch because we're using cornstarch in another DIY later today, and they said you can do arrowroot starch or just normal cornstarch. So I got cornstarch because it was 89 cents. And we're going to open this. Try not to make a mess. Okay. And we need a 1/4 cup. Oh, geez. Okay. All right. Good thing I have the sugar up here because we're going to use it later. And it comes with a neat little top, the measuring cup top, because I only have a cup measuring. Oh my god. Oh god. Too much. Oh god. Now it's everywhere. It's too much like flour. It's getting everywhere. Oh jeez. I'm making such a mess. I'm just trying to level it out, but I can't without it exploding. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, jeez. Alright, well let's pour a little bit back in. If I can. Okay, this seems fine. I'm going with this. All right, so oh, geez. God, this stuff is so hard to use. Cornstarch is not user-friendly, you guys. It's really, it really just makes a huge giant mess. Okay, so 1/4 cup of, oh, geez, it's everywhere. 1/4 cup of cornstarch. 1.5 tablespoons of baking soda. Where's my baking soda? I think it's in this bag. Come on. tablespoon? Yes, it is. All right. A tablespoon and a half baking soda. Oh, geez. This is getting everywhere, too. I guess this is why you shouldn't cook in your recording studio, because you're not equipped for it. No one ever prepares you to cook to do DIYs in your recording studio. People should talk about that more. Okay, 6 drops of lavender essential oil. Now, essential oils are very expensive, and I didn't feel like buying them. So I'm just going to use a little bit of lemon juice instead. What is it? Is deodorant? Yeah. Lemon juice is an antiseptic property, so I'm going to put just a tad of lemon juice in this. Oh. Why is that? Oh, baking soda and lemon juice. Does that not go together? It's fine. It's fine. It just sizzled a little bit. Like a volcano, like in a science experiment. Okay. So, that's all. Okay, so now I just mix it all. See, this is why I should have done it in a saucepan, because the coconut oil, oh God, it just spilled out. Coconut oil and shea butter mixture would have melted a lot better. I understand now. Okay. We're just going to keep mixing it and hope that me doing all of this is going to make it a little bit better. Okay. It's starting to congeal a little bit, come all together. The issue is the cornstarch. That's what's making this so terrible. I'm not sure what the purpose of the cornstarch is, even in this mixture, because it feels like does it say why I need to use cornstarch in this recipe? Kind of understand baking soda. Let's see. No. No. Okay, still looking around on this website while mixing. Okay, I'm going to start just mixing it with my hands and see if my body heat from my hands will melt up this stuff any better. Oh, my mom was right. I should have laid a towel down first. Okay, mixing it together. This is coming along. This is actually coming along nicely. I feel like this is what it's supposed to look like. And then after I mix it all together, I'm supposed to put it either in the fridge or just let it harden for a little bit and then try and use it. Oh, God. That's a bad noise. Sorry, guys. Okay. Still mixing. Let's read more about what Maven has to say about her natural deodorant. Because you know those things on like cooking websites where it's like, here's a story of how I came to this recipe, and it's like this big long story about how the cook's recipe was passed down from their parents cooking in the early 1900s, and it's an old family recipe, and their family just like loves it, and it's a cooking is family time or whatever. And then it's just like, I just want the recipe for your caprese chicken. Like, I don't need the whole backstory for how this recipe came to be. All I want is to cook it for myself. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. So she talks about, this is, okay. Guys, using my hands was an excellent move on my part because now it's all melted and I can mix it so much easier. Which is why it should be overheat in the first place. I know. Okay, this is coming along nicely. Okay, it's all mixed. I will say that the shea butter is kind of crumbly and it's not melting or anything. Like, it just is staying crumbly, which I don't think is something I would want to put on my underarms. And I'm unsure of how to fix this. Oh, geez. I'm flinging it. I'm flinging the oil substances now everywhere, which is a lot harder to clean than just the cornstarch powder. So she says, hang on. This is a girl who has tried doing natural beauty for a little bit now. And I don't know, she's not shoving it down anyone's throats, but it feels like this is not sustainable. Well, also, I will say this product hasn't hardened yet. So once it hardens and congeals a little bit, maybe I'll have a better understanding of how this works. She says, after you've made it, oh, this is just like a cute little jar. Here's a note at the bottom. It says, note, your underarms may require an adjustment period depending on how sensitive your skin is. Start by using this DIY natural deodorant 1 to 2 days a week and slowly increase. She went cold turkey before her trip to Costa Rica and her armpits hated her. Well, she wishes she hadn't changed her routine so quickly while sweating on it. Now, the thing is, if this is supposed to be a natural beauty product, well, like I said, natural products can have cons as well. So, I don't know. I feel like a natural beauty product wouldn't have, like, such an immediate negative reaction. Like, you shouldn't have to build up your immunity to a deodorant, I feel like. Like, you should... I don't know. All right, well, this deodorant is done. So, it says to put this in... Okay, so let it cool at room temp or in the fridge, and it'll harden faster in the fridge until it's reached a solid state. Yeah, so this is pretty goopy right now. Hang on, I'm going to grab a towel. I do have a little hand towel, but I wish I put a towel down just like on my desk. And you're supposed to cover it with a lid until use. And so I'm going to go put this in the fridge, and then while we make the other DIY stuff, hopefully it will harden, and then we can use it for the results segment of the podcast. So, y'all stick around, and we'll be right back after the break.
The GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible. Download the GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere where you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
And welcome back to the GSMC Beauty Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Betsy Scarisbrick, and we are moving on to a DIY hand scrub. Before the break, if you missed it, we were doing a DIY natural deodorant, and now we are switching gears and doing a DIY natural hand scrub. Now, this is a recipe I found from A Fresh Legacy, and it's called the Gardener's Hand Scrub, and I like it because I think that's a fun visual. And ingredients for this are brown sugar, white sugar, lemon juice. I don't have any rosemary, but I do have mint in my garden, so I'm using mint instead of rosemary, coconut oil, and honey. So if you guys remember last time, we did a sugar hair scrub, and I think I'm going to like this better because sugar does have that kind of greasy residue after it, and I hated it on my hair, but I think I'm going to like it because working in the service industry now, I my hands get really, really rough and dry from washing my hands so often. And so I think this might be a nice little remedy to make my hands soft and smooth again. And so I'm opening up the brown sugar right now. We're going to start with 1/4 cup of brown sugar, if I can ever get this. Okay. So 1/4 cup brown sugar. Got my handy dandy little, let me tap out some of this cornstarch that's still in it. Okay. So 1/4 cup brown sugar. Now, brown sugar is always clumpy. Is it normal for brown sugar to be clumpy all the time? I feel like I've only ever used brown sugar that's clumpy because it kind of sticks together. But that's because, remember, we discovered last time brown sugar has molasses in it, and that's also why it's so sticky, too. Okay. Come on. 1/4 cup. I'm trying very hard not to make my office even messier. Okay, 1/4 cup. And I'm going to go ahead and twist this back up so it doesn't get all over the place. Put it in the bag. Okay, 1/4 cup brown sugar into the bowl. Next, 1/2 cup white sugar. Easy peasy. 1/2 cup of white sugar. Perfect. Oops, sorry for that loud noise. Okay. 1/2 cup white sugar mixed with the brown sugar. We're going to do 1/2 of a lemon. So I just squeezed a little bit of lemon into that deodorant, but now I'm going to squeeze this whole thing in here. It's just 1/2 of a lemon. This one says a small lemon, but I don't have any like small things that I would consider a small lemon. Like these lemons are pretty big that I have in my house. Okay. Nice and squeezed. Perfect. All right. Next, sprig of fresh, this says rosemary, or we're going to do mint. Chopped. And I don't have a knife up here, so I'm literally just picking it apart. Oh, this smells so good. It smells so good. Okay. Nice. And I'm using every part of this sprig of mint. Like I'm going to be using the stem, the leaves. Because I know sometimes, well, like when you're cooking and you put like mint or rosemary or thyme or basil, you don't use the stem because that's not the part that you want to eat. You want to eat the leaf. But in this, got to get all the nutrients out that I can. All right. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. The mint and the lemon. Next, a tablespoon of coconut oil. This coconut oil is getting a lot of use today. All right. 1 tablespoon into the pot. Come on. There we go. Alrighty. And 1 tablespoon of honey. So we're just gonna pop that in there. Hang on. Whoop. All right, honey, come on. Shake it up, see if that'll come out easier. All right. This is the honey, I swear. Okay. And now I'm going to mix it up with a fork, seeing if that'll break it up a little bit easier. Okay, I think having the lemon juice in here is going to be really, really helpful to me mixing all of this. Oh my god, you guys, this smells so good. All right. Hit the mic. Oh my god, this smells delicious. And also, so this smells so good and I can't wait to try it. But you guys just saw how fast it took me to make this. Like, it's not a hard thing to do. It's not a hard recipe to make. We're gonna just keep mixing it a little bit. Okay. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm mixing it right now, and then what you would probably do is you'd want to put it in like a bowl with like a cute little mason jar bowl or something so you can put a lid on it. But this, I'm using specifically for research purposes. So maybe if I like it, I'll put it into a cute little bowl that I can just keep by my sink or keep in the shower even. Okay, I feel like this is mixed enough. Oh my god, I can't get over how good this smells. Okay, so we're gonna put that aside, and in taking a look at what each of these ingredients does, so the Fresh Legacy website has the properties of the ingredients that are in this scrub, and also pretty much the reason why they were included because of what properties they have. So the coconut oil inhibits moisture loss. It's soothing. It says it's a natural cleanser. Honey is hydrating. It's an antiseptic. It's soothing and healing. It's a bonding agent and a natural preservative. Lemon juice is cleansing. It removes stains. Also an antiseptic. Rosemary, well, we didn't use rosemary, but if you were to use rosemary, it would be healing, removal of spots and marks, and it also aids in circulation. And then sugar, as we know, is exfoliating. And then it also says that it stabilizes the fragrance, which I think is interesting. As we know, sugar is a better alternative for a DIY scrub than salt because it's less drying and less harmful to your skin and less drying. So if you were to use a scrub, do a DIY scrub, I would really, really highly recommend doing salt instead of, doing sugar instead of salt, because as we know, salt is just a little bit too harmful on the skin for what it's worth. So I am gonna go test that out. I'm probably going to test that before the review segment just because I need a sink to wash my hands with it. But I'm very excited to try it out because it smells so good and all of the properties seem like they're going to be really beneficial to me. So with that, we are going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be trying a DIY dry shampoo. So we'll see how that goes. Stick around, guys, and we'll be right back after the break.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here with another segment. We are about to try and do a DIY dry shampoo. Now, I'm not an active dry shampoo user, just because if my hair is dirty, I'll just put it up anyway, and then it looks less dirty. I never really try to wear my hair down when it's gross. I do, if I need to wear my hair, want to wear my hair down and it's dirty, I will try dry shampoo, but I don't really ever have it on hand because I don't really ever use it. Now, I've tried the baby powder as a pseudo dry shampoo. I've tried What else you got? I've tried dry shampoo. I've tried baby powder. I guess those are the only two I've tried. But now I just found a recipe for a DIY dry shampoo that uses cornstarch and cocoa powder and an extra option of using essential oils. Now, I don't know why I would use essential oils in a dry shampoo mixture. It says, so this is a recipe from the website Omnomaly. That's OMNOMALLY. And this is a recipe for a DIY dry shampoo. And the 3 ingredients are, like I said, starch, cocoa or raw cacao powder, and essential oil. And you would use the essential oil option if you have extremely oily roots. You could put like tea tree essential oil or citrus oils for, this doesn't make, for their oil reducing properties. I don't know about that. It also says rosemary, lavender, or sage essential oil can promote healthy scalp. Now, I don't know about all that. Like, I don't think I need to put a lot into this DIY dry shampoo. So starch is your base, and you do ratios of starch and cocoa. And the cocoa is a coloring agent, and how much you use will depend on your hair color. So I'm a blonde, so I'm probably not going to use any cocoa at all, but it says you could do a ratio of 3-to-1 or 2-to-1 of starch to cocoa. So more starch than cocoa. For mid-brown hair or auburn hair, you could try 1-to-1. And for darker hair colors, start with 1-to-2 starch to cocoa. And make sure to buff and brush the powder in well to prevent the telltale light patches. This young lady uses a makeup powder brush to apply dry shampoo. That kind of makes more sense to me than using just using your hands, or I think it would it has better coverage than just sprinkling it on there. And it's also, I think, helps to buff it into your roots. The brush she uses, she did a link to it. The brush that she uses is the Everyday Minerals Dome Blush Brush. So, let's see, the link is not loading very well. Whenever that loads, I'll tell you how much it is. And your hair has to be dry when you use, hence dry shampoo. Otherwise, because it's starch-based, it'll get an ugly, clumpy paste that you just will need to wash your hair anyway. Oh, this is fun. An alternative is to store your dry shampoo in a clean spice shaker, like a salt shaker or a pepper shaker, and sprinkle that over your roots in between washes, and then you use your fingers to rub the powder into your hair. The blush that she uses, like I said, is the Everyday Minerals Dome Blush Brush. It's $16. So take that as you will. I think any brush could work. Right now I'm going to use an e.l.f. Kabuki brush that I found in my mom's makeup drawer that looks like it hasn't been used. I did wash it just to be safe. Okay, so here we go. It says, don't panic if your hair looks lighter first on application, as it'll fade as the powder soaks up excess oil. After either method of application, brush or comb your hair after 5 minutes to further distribute the powder and avoid any powdery patches. And that's it. So this seems like a very, very easy, very straightforward process. Yeah. Okay. So let's get this started. So cornstarch, we need so each part is going to be 1 tablespoon. So let me find my tablespoon. Okay. So we got the tablespoon. Where's the towel? Okay. Tablespoon. Found it. Okay. So for blonde or light brown hair, you do 3-to-1 or 2-to-1 starch to cocoa. Mid brown, 1-to-1. Dark brown, black hair, starch is 1-to-2 or 1-to-3. Add powder to oily roots and rub in well. Allow to sit for 5 minutes to absorb, and then brush the oil powder to the roots with a bristle brush. Okay. So it also says to note when you use your essential oil, use a total of 6 drops of essential oils per 4 tablespoons of mixed dry shampoo powder. Okay, well, this seems easy enough. I might just try it right here. Okay, so I'm going to take my hair down. Here we go. Alrighty. Lucky for you guys, I haven't washed my hair in a couple days, so this will be great to try it out. Alright, let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to try it out right now. Okay, so 1 tablespoon cornstarch, my old messy friend cornstarch. And I'm not going to use any cocoa powder because my hair is a little bit of a lighter blonde. So I'm just going to do 1 tablespoon straight cornstarch. Okay, put it in my little cup. Oh, almost dropped the tablespoon things. Okay. Grabbing my brush and gonna dab it in there, tapping off the excess because I don't need a ton. I don't like it when, like it said, it's gonna look lighter on application. So I'm just gonna try and make sure I only have the necessary amount. Okay, just brushing that in the roots, I guess. Oh, this doesn't look half bad. Well, I say that. I don't have a good look in the mirror right now. The mirror's kind of far from me. Okay. So I'm going front to back and starting, I have a center part right now. So I'm starting at the front, brushing it out into my hair. Just hit the mic, sorry guys. Okay. So it's making my way down the line, just kind of buffing it out a little bit. So the most oily part of my hair, I think, is the crown of my head, because I also can't see it that well, so that's why I never notice it unless I'm actually looking at it. Okay, buffing it out. Okay, and I'm wondering if I should, oh, see, I like this better than doing dry shampoo, I think, because dry shampoo gives you that kind of, like, you feel it kind of in your hair before you brush it out, whereas this is a lot more lightweight, and I feel like it's giving my hair, allowing me to give it more volume. Okay, so this is just me doing the top layer. Oh, geez. Again, guys, the cornstarch is getting everywhere. Do this in the bathroom, not in your studio. Okay, going around the crown of my hair. This is where my hair is greasiest. And I think what I'm going to do is pull up this top layer on the right side of my hair, pull it to the side so I have a side part, and get that line of my hair as well, because my hair can get greasy closer to the scalp on this side of the part. Okay, so just buffing that all out. And then I'm going to do the same to the other side and pull it, part my hair so that it's a right part. Oh my god, this cornstarch is everywhere. Okay, starting in the hairline and then buffing it out to the sides. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah, this gives my hair a ton of volume, you guys. And is a little bit easier to style. Okay, so we're letting that sit for a little bit. Probably won't let it sit for a full 5 minutes. I don't think it needs to sit for a full 5 minutes. But I'm just going to make sure it's all through my scalp. That's visible anyway. And remember, guys, keep in mind, dry shampoo is not an alternative to washing your hair. As we talked about with Stacey Haley, my hairdresser, we need to be cognizant of what we put on our scalp and put in our hair, while also being cognizant of how it affects our hair and scalp as well. As we've learned, having too much product on your hair and not cleansing it properly can clog your hair follicles and cause some serious damage to your hair. So I like this DIY shampoo because a DIY dry shampoo. And granted, it's not very simple. It's not like some newfound, like, crazy recipe thing. It's literally just me brushing cornstarch onto my hair with a makeup brush. It's that simple, that easy. And I think I like this better than dry shampoo, like from an aerosol can, because that feels worse on my scalp to me. And the thing is, using dry shampoo occasionally is fine and safe for most people. But if you use it too often or for an extended period of time, it could damage your hair and also cause scalp problems. Dry shampoo doesn't clean your hair, and it's basically starch and alcohol, which is why it makes your hair feel so gross. It absorbs the oil in your hair, which makes the oil less noticeable, but it doesn't remove the oil and the dirt away the way that a shampoo and water will. Aerosol hair care products can often contain alcohols, which are really, really drying for your hair. So when your hair is dry, the individual fibers can crack and snag on each other when you comb or style your hair, which lead to breakage. And also, like I said, overuse can clog your hair follicles, and it leaves a buildup of the product on your scalp, and an accumulation of styling products can make your scalp itch, and it's possible that the buildup on your scalp could lead to folliculitis, and that's a bacterial or fungal infection in the hair follicle. I think it's similar to like an ingrown hair. And infrequent hair washing can cause dandruff and scaly skin on your scalp. So there aren't any studies that indicate dry shampoo directly causes dandruff. Doctors at the Mayo Clinic say that an over-oily scalp can cause dandruff. So if you're leaving dry shampoo on your scalp, you're also leaving the oils it's absorbed. Oils feed on a strain of fungus known as Malassezia, which can cause a red, scaly scalp condition called seborrheic dermatitis. I should have pronounced that better. All of this I'm finding on healthline.com and with sources from the Mayo Clinic. And I will say there isn't any research that indicates that dry shampoo directly causes hair loss or can stunt your hair growth. Studies show that poor scalp health does cause hair loss. So if you aren't taking care of your scalp in the ways that I have kind of talked to you about, like leaving too much product in it, it can be worse for your scalp and worse for hair growth. So with that, use what you wanna, do what you wanna, as always. I think I like this cornstarch as an alternative to like spray dry shampoo because it just makes my hair feel better. It's less, it's less grimy to me. Does that make sense? Like it feels a little bit lighter than using the spray product, which feels a little bit more like hairspray in a way. If any of you have darker hair, please let me know how the cocoa powder went with it. Because, and also this is not to be, cocoa powder is not to be confused with like hot chocolate. It's not, like don't put well, wait a second. I was about to say something that maybe I would be wrong on. Let's Google this. Hot chocolate. So like if you have say you have a pack of hot chocolate, could you just use that? We'll Google the classic Swiss Miss hot cocoa. Where is this? Swiss Miss hot chocolate. Okay. And we're going to look at the ingredients and we're going to see. We're going to say, well, no, that's a DIY Swiss Miss. Okay. So we're going to look and see. So like maybe if you have hot chocolate, you can just use that as your dry shampoo if you don't have cornstarch, if you have darker hair. Okay, well, this isn't telling me any of the ingredients, but I can only assume there's cocoa in the hot cocoa. So try using hot chocolate. If you have darker hair, if you have brown hair, let me know what the cocoa does for the coloring, because just using cornstarch, which is a white powder on my roots, it does make it look a little bit lighter, but I don't think it's necessarily in a bad way. Like, I don't think it is a noticeable lighter that would make people think that something is in my hair or that I'm graying maybe. It looks pretty normal to me. So Yeah, I'm a fan of the cornstarch, I think. All right, guys, we are going to take a final quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to review the other 2 DIY stuff that I made I guess I didn't make it for you, but I made for us to try it and review it earlier. So stick around and we'll be right back.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Welcome back to our final segment of DIY episode 2. During the break, I went downstairs and I got my DIY natural deodorant out of the fridge, and I also tried the gardener's hand scrub from segment 2 that we made earlier from the website afreshlegacy.net. And my mom and I both tried the hand scrub, and it was awesome. My hands feel very soft. It smells really good still. And my hands just feel more moisturized and nourished. And I think my nails look more nourished as well. I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the coconut oil. But I really, really liked it. My hands were exfoliated. They were moisturized. They were nourished. Like we know, we've learned from Hiram, coconut oil on your skin it might not just be moisturizing, it might just be sitting on top of the skin. So I'll have to use it a couple more times and see what exactly the effects are on my skin, whether or not this oil is just sitting on top, or if my skin will actually absorb it. And I think one thing I'm going to test is using coconut oil in that recipe or using shea butter in that recipe. I think that could make a difference. Okay. So I pulled out, this is a moment of truth. I pulled out the DIY deodorant from the fridge. And you guys, this does not look promising. This does not look good. I'm picking up pieces that are kind of crumbling off, and they still feel like the shea butter crumbles. I'm wondering if I had done it in a saucepan, if it would have melted. But I'm not enjoying my time, rubbing it on right now. It feels very greasy. I don't know if I will keep any of this. It doesn't smell great. I maybe should have used my essential oils or gotten some essential oils instead. Let's look at what it says for application. Okay, directions for use. Wet underarms slightly. Well, okay, I have a wet washcloth, so where is it? Okay, I'm going to wet my underarms. Okay, spoon out a pea-sized amount with a wooden scoop. A wooden scoop? What's a wooden scoop? Oh, it looks like a skewer. Okay, it says wooden scoop or with fingers, and rub between fingers before applying directly to underarms. Okay, so I have a pea-sized amount in my fingers. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm putting it on my armpits. Oh god, this is terrible. I'm just having crumbly armpits. I hate this. Oh, the AC just came on. So you just heard the door close from the AC. Yeah, no, I don't like this at all. I'm not liking this at all. It's just crumbly. and it makes my armpit feel greasy. Obviously, I'm going to put it on the other side because I'm not just going to leave one armpit on. Okay, it's not very good at breaking down on my armpit, like the shea. It's the shea moisture, the shea butter beads that are not breaking down when I rub it on my armpits. Looking at my armpits, well, I guess it's like kind of crumbly still. You can't really see the crumbles as much. So I guess they are kind of breaking down if I like rub my armpits together. Not rub my armpits together, but like put my arms down and kind of rub so the the shea butter will melt more. Nope, it's crumbly. The more I move them, the more it gets crumbly. I don't feel like this might be a fine antiperspirant. I don't know if it'll help me in the deodorant section. And I also don't like, this is just all over my hands now. I don't like it being all over my hands. This is not sustainable for me to use. I would invite all of you to try to make your own DIY deodorant. I don't think maybe it's because I didn't cook it right. I didn't do it in the saucepan, so it didn't melt down enough. But I just can't imagine this actually having any real world application or benefits. I'll give it a shot. I'll let you guys know in the next episode. I'll use it the next couple of days and see if it actually works with any antiperspirant or deodorant benefits. But this just does not feel sustainable to me. I don't like natural deodorants. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like the feeling of these Shea Moisture beads. I keep calling it Shea Moisture because that's a brand. I don't like these Shea Butter beads just stuck under my arms. This is, first impression, this is not for me. That being said, I am a person with an open mind, and I will be willing to give it a shot over the next few days. And I'll give you an update on the next podcast. You really can't get over the shea butter beads. It makes my underarms feel scratchy. And I'm sure it'll melt down with my body heat eventually. But right now, upon first application, like I'm wearing a tank top and overalls. So if I had to wear a normal shirt, like, I don't know, like I feel like it would show as a grease stain in the same way a sweat stain would show. And then it's a grease stain, so it's never going to go away. It's never going to dry. It's never going to fade into the clothes. It's just going to be there for all of eternity. And I don't know. I'm very wary of this right now. So the pros of this homemade deodorant is that it's very simple to make, and it also lasts forever. And the Healthy Maven says it totally and completely works. So, I don't know. It's gonna take a little bit more of testing, and we'll see how the cookie crumbles. I don't know. I don't want to keep it in the fridge. Like, I'm not going to go down to the fridge to get my deodorant out in the morning. That's just not something that I would do. I want my deodorant in my bathroom for when I'm getting ready during the day or during the morning. I will say that this amount, it comes with a decent amount of product, and this product is going to last between 4 to 6 months. That's crazy. That's going to last for so long. I think not that my normal deodorant doesn't last so much, but maybe I just put too much on where I have to buy a new one every like 2-3 months. She says, she also links to, purchasing a natural deodorant if you don't have the time or the resources to make your own. And this is from let's see. Oop, the link is broken. The website is credobeauty.com. So maybe it doesn't have their natural deodorant anymore. But, okay, I keep trying to look for the crumbles, and I think the crumbles are melting with my body heat. So maybe that's a plus. But again, guys, I don't think this would be the deodorant I would use if I needed to put on like a short sleeve shirt, or if I needed to put on a darker colored shirt, or like wearing this with a tank top and overalls is fine right now. But I do not think that I would. This is sustainable for everyday use. I think you can use it sometimes and it will be fine. And I also don't even know if it works as an antiperspirant or deodorant yet. I really don't know the benefits of its actual use. So, like I said, I'm going to give you guys an update in the next episode. And just to recap everything we've done, we did a DIY deodorant, and I just talked about that so you know how I feel on that. The hand scrub, amazing. Loved it. Gonna keep it in a little jar, a cute mason jar next to the sink. It's gonna be really cute and smells good. And I'll let you guys know if I end up making a different one with the shea butter, and seeing how that compares to the recipe that calls for coconut oil. And I also used cornstarch on my dirty scalp. My mom says that my hair still looks filthy, but I disagree. I think my hair looks fine. It does what dry shampoo does. It doesn't make your hair cleaner. It just makes you a little bit easier to style and gives you a little more wear out of your hair in between washes. So, with that being said, please let me know if you guys end up trying any of these yourself, if you have had any different experiences with natural beauty products or with DIY projects that you would like me to try. And especially the people with brown or black hair, I want to know if the cocoa powder does anything to help you, like with the color of dry shampoo. Because I know a lot of people, I know Batiste has a brunette dry shampoo, but I know a lot of other dry shampoos that are just the white spray on, and a lot of people with brown hair don't really like that look that it gives them. So give me a shout if you want me to try any DIY projects or want me to try any natural beauty products. And thank you guys so much for listening. If you've liked the show, please comment, like, subscribe. It really helps us when you leave reviews. Let me know how I'm doing. I love feedback. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great weekend.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast, part of the GSMC Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type in GSMC to find all of our shows from the GSMC Podcast Network, from health and wellness to entertainment and life and happiness to sex and relationships. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's episode of the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast.